Alright, so this is the video for level 4, the math method, and what we're going to do is to visualize the ones with parentheses, we're still going to draw it out with our branches. Everything else should be good the way it is. So when I'm going to list my elements. I got BA, SO4, K, and PO4. I'm going to check each side. So reactants 1, products 3, sulfate. We got one group of sulfate on each side. K, 3, and 2. Phosphate, I have one group, and here, drawing out my branches, I see that I have 2. So I'm going to check something. We'll just start with BA. I've got 3 on the product side, so I'm going to put a 3 in front of BaSO4. Update the BA and update the SO4. Then I'm going to look. My SO4 was okay, but now it's not. So I'm going to go to the product side where I only have 1. Put a 3 there. So then K will now be 6, and SO4 would be 3. So it gets distributed to both parts. Okay, now I'm going to fix K. On the product side I have 6, and on the reactant side I only have 3. So I'm going to put a 2 there. So now I have 6 Ks on both sides, and my 2 also made me have 2 PO4s, which is what I needed. So BA, SO4, K, and PO4, and my coefficients are 3, 2, 1, 3. On the second example, I have parentheses on every single substance. So we're going to take a second and draw these out. That's an H. Alright, it looks like it's the groups, my polyatomic ions that are not balanced. So we're going to start with NO2. On the reactant side I have 3, product side I have 2, so I got to get 6 on each to make them balanced. We'll do a 2 on the reactant side, and then we'll do a 3 over here. So when I list my inventory, I did have 1 AL and 3 NO2s, and now I have 2 ALs and 6. And on the right, we should go ahead and fill all this in. We have 1 BA and 2 OHs. And on the right, we have 1 AL and 3 OHs. And we had 1 BA and 2, but our 3 is we're going to update that. So our BA will now be 3, and our NO2s will be 6. I'm just going to move right down. Well, it looks like I better fix AL real quick, because now there are 2 on the reactant side, and there's only 1 on the product. So we'll put a 2 in front of ALOH3. So now I have 2 ALs and 6 OHs. I'm going to fix BA next. Product has 3. Reactant only has 1. we'll put a 3 there, and now I have 3 bariums, and we also have 6 OH groups, and it looks like everything is good. And my coefficients are 2, 3, 2, 3. Alright, we got another one with a lot of parentheses. That's what makes these level 3 or level 4, is lots of parentheses. Alright, and we should do our inventory. We've got our 2 groups, OH and PO3. CA, 1 on reactants, 3 on products. OH, 2 on reactants, 4 on products. PB, 3 and 1. And PO3, we've got 3 and 2. I could start with CA, and I've got to get 3 on the reactant side. That also makes me have 6 OH groups. The next thing I notice is that PB isn't balanced. So on the reactant I have 3. The product, I'm going to make that one 3 with the coefficient. So I gotta update the PB. And my OH, I actually have 12 of those now when I distribute both. I'm going to go back and fix OH. And on the reactant side I only have 6. So I know I need to double this. So instead of a 3, we actually want a 6. And now we have 12 OHs and 6 CAs. And now I got to rebalance my CA. And so we're going to put a 2 in front of there. So now CA will have 6. And PO3 groups will have 4. Oh, and I just realized I missed a branch here. I knew that wasn't going to work out. So instead of PO3 groups, instead of 3, we actually have 4. So CA is done, OH is done, PB is done, and PO3 is done. And my coefficients are 6, 1, 2, 3. In our final example, we've got a couple to draw out. So there's my reactant with parentheses, and my product. So we've got a couple of groups that we're looking for. C2H3O2 is a group, and C2O4 is a group. I'll start with AL. I've got 1 on the reactant, 2 on the products, so I'm going to put a 2 in front of that. And I forgot to do our inventory. We did have 1 and 3, and 2 and 1, and on the product 2, 1, 1, 3. With my coefficient of 2, I now have 2 ALs, and I have 6 of these C2H3O2 groups. I'm going to work on that next, as I only have 1 on the product side and I need 6. So if I use a coefficient of 6, it will make both Na and the C2H3O2 group 6. We'll work on Na next, and on the reactant side I only have 2, so I need a coefficient of 3, and I've got to, I'll update my Na and my groups of C2O4 because they get the 3 also, and that makes everything balanced with coefficients of 2, 3, 1, 6.